Did I buy the main game just to play the FD? Yes. Do I regret it in any way? No. No, I don't. This is a game full of horniness. The FD of Birushana Senki, Ichijuu no Kaze, gives otome fans all they could ever wish for. The biggest present the developers gave us are full-fledged side character routes, which were only teased in the main game. The one thing otome fans always complain about, not being able to date the side characters, Birushana gave to us. The if stories of the side characters start with a really small recap of what happened in the common route of the main game, and continue then after that said common route. You remember the friendly informant of Yoritomo, Takatsuna. In his if story you get to know another more fierce side of him. But of course he's still the Genki and frolic little brother type, who likes to joke around carefree and gets the better out of Shano with his cute puppy dog eyes. As someone who isn't into shotas, I enjoyed seeing a less childish side of him, while still staying true to his character. His route also had an interesting new perspective on the already known plot, and even had some small twists up its sleeve. Tsugunobu is such a sharp-witted smooth talker. He always senses when something is up with Shanao, and wants to be like an older brother to her, does he? And with his calm and soft nature, manages to cheer her up in every situation. While this softness made his character intriguing, it also made the route a slow burn, especially as not much happened plot-wise, and I felt like the same motive was repeated over and over again. Tadanobu is quite the opposite of his calm brother. He's an air-headed flirt who easily falls in love with everyone who vaguely looks like a girl, like Shano. So you can imagine how confused and flustered he is once he finally finds out she actually is a girl. And this energetic flirty character made his route extremely entertaining. Shigehira's route was probably most similar to his if story in the main game, he being a spoiled brat and Shanao showing him the value of friendship. But I didn't mind that slight repetition, as Shigehira's tsundere nature is just too dear, and it's too cute to see him call her Baka and then trying to get closer to her. Also, like expected, in his route breaks out the conflict between him and the obsessed Tomomori. Not only does this conflict play out extremely interesting, it also helped me understand Tomomori's character better. As the if stories of the FD take place after the common route of the main game, they partly retell major plot points of the first game, which we've already seen 5 times. But at least they do it arguably short and partly from a slightly different perspective, so it doesn't get utterly annoying again. And they also change up the formula midway through their routes. Now Shanao has 9 bachelors officially wooing her, so it's understandable that some motives are repeated, and I was a tad annoyed that every side character felt the urge to protect her, despite them knowing that Shanao is the last girl who needs protection. Just for their male ego or what? Emotional support, yes please. But fighting in her stead? That's just stupid. That's why I felt that the love stories were slightly watered down, and Shanao's character less consistent. What improved, on the other hand, was the cruelty of the bad ends. While I thought in the first game the bad ends were slightly uninspired, the bad ends of the side characters in the if routes are a must-play for bad end lovers. One ending made me so sick. I loved it. And the CG, amazing! You might know Tadanobu's voice actor from Diabolic Lover Sudechi, and to my very surprised, Tsugunobu also voices Yajo in Tearblade, which I just recently played, Jinya in Radiant Tail, and Uria in Dance with Devils we're playing on our stream on Tuesdays. I mean, that range! I also didn't realize Shigehira also voices Hisui in Nilat Midari no Tenbin, and Suzukake in Kenga Kimi, but I liked him way better in this role. The CGs were of course similarly pretty as in the first game, but like the motives in the if stories, I also had the impression that the motives of the CGs also felt vaguely familiar. What, you wonder? You still can't date these friendly fellows? Well, room for part 3. I certainly wouldn't mind. And a quick shout out to other friendly fellows, namely my Patreons. Thank you so much for supporting me and allowing me to continue making these videos. But the reason why I bought the FD weren't the if stories, but the after stories. The steamy after stories. The very steamy after stories. I started with Shungen and was very happy some plot happened, just to get them 2 out of the bedroom. Seriously. Morning, evening and night. There's nothing else they feel like doing than devouring each other. They had a nice conversation, they make out. They had a fight, they make out. That's Shungen's route for you. Well, there's actually a little very interesting plot happening, which interrupts them in their making out sessions. But this plot is really well made, and they continue making out afterwards anyways. Noritsune, who was just slightly horny at the end of the main game, well, still is horny, because apparently his horniness wasn't fulfilled yet. That's the conflict of the root. Reading that, I was just screaming, why? And I'm sure it's a good idea to ask Tomomori and Shigehida for love advice. Yeah. What can I say? That means we get some entertaining Taida siblings dynamic and hilariously embarrassing situations. I laughed and screamed so much. In Yoritomo's afterstory, they still keep Shanao's gender a secret, which causes some political conflicts and a lot of jealousy from Yoritomo's side. And I can barely imagine something more alluring than a taciturn kudere dragging you away without saying a word and kissing you passionately out of jealousy. I enjoyed his route so much. The tension is real. And these steamy scenes. One reason being the voice actor making some of the best moan sounds. And what a passionate kudere he is. Tomomori and Shanao continue their twisted relationship. I still couldn't get into at all. I just cannot understand how Shanao can obey such a person. He's jealous and possessive, but at the same time so cunning that I find these in principle desirable character traits hard to enjoy. But if you liked Tomomori in the first game, then I'm sure you'll extremely enjoy his afterstory. Benkei. The dream of a man. Now in an even more revealing yukata. That's all I need to be happy. In his route, they continue their pure love story, though Benkei often apologizes for suddenly kissing her and is afraid of breaking her. Oh, so cute! Give me love, Benkei! But visiting their old friends, they want to keep their improper servant-master marriage a secret. That leads to, again, some of the most hilarious banters of the whole cast when they all reunite, especially when they find out Chano is a girl and start wooing her all over again, making Benkei all jealous. Their love was so cute, though I think they probably have the least steamy scenes. But of course, I have to give this muscle man my most sexy award, again, also for the best moans. Though again, Yoritomo tried as well heavily and is a very close second. These afterstories. I've rarely read something as steamy. Or let me put it like that. Games like Olympia Soiree are more intense. Like, they have one steamy scene, and that is so steamy you can't see anything because of all the steam. And in Birushana Ichijuu no Kaze, it's not as intense, though it features some quite detailed descriptions and moans here and there. But the overall amount of the steamy scenes in this short amount of route is what makes it so especially steamy. Best example, Shungen. Practically whenever they are together, you know what's happening. They can't keep their hands off each other. Still, I would recommend playing your favorite character first, because they all make out with the same girl, who has the same likings, so the steamy scenes can play out a bit similar. They are by no means the same, like in context, but they just have similar actions, so it might be more impactful the first times you play and read it. But yes, it's a horny game through and through. It does the name fan disc honor, as it's brimming full with fan service, and all you could ever wish for. What is indeed a shame though, that the after stories are extremely short. While the if stories are 5 chapters long, the after stories are only 3 chapters long, taking around 3 hours. And this is just too short for a character you dearly love. And you also get only 3 CGs for the main characters, and only 2 of them being in really steamy scenes. As the Japanese difficulty is similar to the main game, though maybe slightly lower due to less plot, definitely around upper intermediate. So I can't fully recommend it if you are still new to learning Japanese and are just looking for a way to play the FD for the main game you played in English. Unless you're crazy about the side characters, or just want to see your favorite characters be happy together and hear them moan. Nevertheless, you shouldn't expect any meaningful plot nor character development from the after stories. They are pure fluff. Yeah. Well, not really fluff. Pure steam. Pure fan service. Better take a fan with you. The if stories, on the other hand, have a more interesting plot, but for some reason I felt that the characters fell a bit flat. Maybe 9 LIs for 1 MC goes hand in hand with sacrificing some original ideas and consistent characters in order to tell yet another story. The story or characters are by no means bad, but I just feel they don't live up to the main characters of the main game. But if you just want to have some more fun with the characters or blush heavily in the after stories, then I think the FD is a must-buy for every fan, and I honestly don't regret having sit through the tedious battles of the first game in order to earn 3 more Steamy hours with my characters. If you look for more Steamy games with even steamier FDs, I'd highly recommend Ni l'Admirari no Otome, one of the steamiest games I've ever played, and I love it quite a bit.